जय राम जय जय राम ओम श्री राम 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 जय राम जय जय राम 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 ओम 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 श्री राम जय राम जय
जय राम ओम श्री राम जय
जय जय
ओम श्री राम जय राम जय जय राम ओम श्री राम जय राम जय जय राम ओम जय राम जय जय राम ओम श्री राम जय राम जय जय राम ओम श्री राम जय राम जय जय राम ओम श्री राम जय राम जय जय राम ओम राम जय राम जय जय राम ओम श्री राम जय राम जय जय राम ओम श्री राम जय राम जय जय राम ओम श्री राम जय राम जय जय राम ओम जय जय राम ओम श्री राम जय राम जय जय राम ओम श्री राम जय राम जय जय राम ओम श्री राम जय राम जय जय राम ओम राम जय राम जय जय राम ओम श्री राम जय राम जय जय राम ओम श्री राम जय राम जय जय राम ओम श्री राम जय राम जय जय राम ओम जय राम जय जय राम ओम श्री राम जय राम जय जय राम ओम श्री राम जय राम जय जय राम ओम श्री राम जय राम जय जय राम ओम जय राम जय जय राम ओम श्री राम जय राम जय जय ॐ श्रीराम जय राम जय जय राम 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 वो श्रीराम जय राम जय जय राम वो श्रीराम जय राम जय जय राम वो जय राम जय जय राम वो श्रीराम जय राम जय जय राम वो श्रीराम जय राम जय जय राम वो श्रीराम जय राम जय जय राम वो ॐ श्रीराम जय राम जय जय राम 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 ॐ राम राम ॐ श्रीराम जय राम जय जय राम ॐ ॐ श्रीराम जय राम जय जय राम ॐ श्रीराम जय राम जय जय राम ॐ
श्री राम जय राम जय जय राम ओम श्री राम जय राम जय जय राम श्री राम जय राम जय जय राम
श्री राम जय राम जय जय राम ओम श्री राम जय राम जय जय राम ओम श्री राम जय जय राम ओम श्री राम जय जय राम ओम
श्री राम जय राम ओम श्री राम जय राम ओम
श्री राम जय जय राम ओम श्री राम जय जय राम ओम
श्री राम जय राम ओम श्री राम जय राम ओम
Shri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram Om. 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 Hari Om. Is there anything wrong? Is there anything wrong? No. By this time, everybody will be up.
Sridhar Bhatt is here.
Only it's 3, you know. Normally, by this time, it will be full. Shri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram Om. 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 Hari Om to everybody. Ah. Hari Om, Hari Om, Hari Om. Hari Om. Pranam, 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 pranam.
Pranam Swami.
Okay, okay. Day for a day. Pranam, pranam. For the past 3-4 days, Papa has been prompting us to go through the inquest of God again and again and again. And she made us to cover 3 chapters, plus the first article. Where it came, no? There it came, not here. It's all right. So the first one was about the definition of what? The first one, the article was about giving a definition, no? Some clear-cut idea about what?
Subtle and mysterious.
About what?
Maybe because of
Become aware of God's grace.
become aware of God's grace, it seems.
No, the first article that appeared in Inquest of God.
The truth, Swamiji.
The truth.
The truth. The truth. Truth. Truth.
Right?
Truth, love, and human perfection. Infinite love, truth. Ram, serious power. The mysterious power.
What
is God? What is God?
Who is Ram?
To reach that, you took more than 2 minutes. So first, before he introduced Ram to us, Papa wanted to give us some idea as to what the name Ram stands for, so that there won't be absolutely no problem at all. He is not an entity. He is a great power. Because of the existence of that power, now the sharing is going on, seeing is going on, hearing is going on, feeling that we are sitting is going on. That power, inherent power, which is birthless and deathless. At the same time, though it is nameless and formless, it has also assumed names and forms. More particularly through deities and Mahatmas, that's all. Before we enter into the next topic, somebody shared with us yesterday a wonderful facet of Sagunaradan. See, normally when we offer at our puja room, everybody will have their puja room, and they will have some deity's photo or vigraha or something, or Mahatmas. We offer, we remove the nirmalyam every day, we put flowers, probably we may also give a wash, then we may do puja in our own way, mentally, either following the traditional system or a just offering of our reverence in whatever form he prompts us from within. We offer the Naivedya, and every time probably the intellect may say that he is not accepting anything, but we religiously offer, no? We are disappointed. When the flowers offered comes back to us, we take it as prasad. When the Naivedyam comes back to us, naturally we will all be happy only. But we don't lose faith. Mero karlamma. So yesterday's explanation was very good. So a devotee asks God, who has assumed a form, we offer you so many things, but you are not taking anything. How do we know that you have taken? Because the quantity does not get reduced. Or there is no change in the offering that we have made. So God explained, what Mahatma has explained is, suppose we give you a book, Papa's small book, that speaks Ramdas. We patiently wait, you go through the whole book. We again ask some questions, and then again you go through that book. Again some more points, again you go through that book. And so that by your intense study, the theme contained in the book is passed on to your mind. Okay? And the book is there as such. The book does not get reduced, but the theme of the book has already entered into us. So that means not merely reading. If we really read, no. But with Shraddha, with one-pointedness, with a sense of dedication, devotion. So when we read that, the theme which is there in the book also comes to us without diminishing the outer stock. Similarly, whenever we offer with love and devotion to any deity, with that feeling, though outer quantity remains the same, our faith, our Shraddha, our dedication, our reverential offering, it has been passed on to him. So it doesn't become a ritual as such, If you closely observe the rituals performed, you will find the pujari, when he takes the Naivedyam, he will not simply show it and come back. He takes like this, you remember? And then pranaya swaha, yanaya swaha, like that, 5 times he will do that. And then to wash, you will put ajavaniyam. So with Shraddha, with meaning, when we perform, we get the satisfaction. God who is within me, who has now assumed an outer form for my blissful experience, has also accepted that the offering. Think about it. So when we say Ram stands for the mysterious and subtle power, we don't have to rule out the entire manifestation before us. He is there in the form of all his manifestation. Only because of his manifestation we know that he is there. The Saguna and Nirguna are intertwined. If there is only a dual, we will be able to understand the other. If there is only one, and if there is no Bhakta, who will understand the Bhagavan? So Bhagavan becomes an object of worship, an object to be scaled, an object to become one with him, only when there is a Bhagavan, Bhakta is there. So the relationship between Bhakta and Bhagavan is so intertwined, interconnected, interrelated, interdependent here. And so any offering that the bhakta does, that also reaches the Bhagavan. So this clarity also, yesterday somebody shared this. We thought we would share with you all. You can do some thinking. So that when you go to the puja room and offer, so many festive occasions come, we just do it as a part of ritual, as a part of the tradition. When Vinayaka Chaturthi is there, we offer modagam. When Krishnashtami is there, something else, what do you call that? Butter. Sweet, with, what do you call it? Kant.
Sweet. Makan Shri.
അതൊന്നുമല്ല വേറെന്നൊരു പേരുണ്ടേ എന്നെ കണ്ട് ശ്രീകണ്ഠ് എന്നല്ലോ ശ്രീകണ്ഠ് ദാറ്റ് ഈസ് ഹിസ് ഫേവറേറ്റ് ശ്രീകണ്ഠ്. So these are what he likes most, So at least we have assumed that he likes his makan, Chida is also offered, South India, but mostly this is the one, makan. So like that, we offer so many things on all festive occasions. Now Navaratri is coming. Every day there will be some item in South India will be offered to the Devi. And you will observe that on a particular day there is Saraswati Puja, there is Ayudha Puja. All, we people who are agriculturists or involved in plantation, on that particular day we wash and clean every implement, which we use in our field work. Even in ashram we do it every year. And the whole thing will be there, and we apply Papa's prasad, then offer. We don't see it as a jadavastu. We see a form of God. It is because of the implements, we are in a position to handle all cultural operations in the agricultural field. So we revere them, we offer arati. And on Saraswati Puja, all the books, at least a few books, definitely the passbook, checkbook, everything will be placed before them. When we were students, Father used to say, bring your text, one or two text, one or two notes. Symbolically, everything, we revere as the form of God. And we have that satisfaction. Somehow, suppose we have forgotten one thing, we immediately rush up. In good old days, even in companies, they were doing it. Now they would have changed it. On that particular day, half a day, everything will be cleaned, all bins will be free from dust, and all spare parts, account books, everything will be kept. And then we do arati. We don't do any puja in the office, but we do arati and distribute prasad. So why we mention all these things, previously when we were reading the word, subtle and mysterious power, unknowingly probably we would have deleted all the manifestation. But the subtle and mysterious power existing through the varied manifestation. That is what IQG tells us now. Even in the 4th chapter, we come across, we will see that. To him, there was not merely the deity or Mahatmas. Even the sadhu, even the person who was, offering the bhajan, he did not treat them as people who are doing it for bhiksha. Though outwardly it appeared that they were doing bhajans for their bhojan, because later on in the dialogue, then suddenly they realized that it is not for bhojan, but it is for remembrance. So all outer creations are coming under the category of varied manifestation of the subtle and mysterious power. In the first chapter, we found the preparatory measures. In the second chapter, we found the greatest stumbling block in all our spiritual life is that me and mine. So a prayer originated from us. That is very important. It is not a prayer of somebody we have to repeat. Repeating somebody's prayer, a Mahatma's composition, should ultimately enable us to develop our own prayer. Because the prayer we are now reciting is the outcome of their revelations, their experience. It should induce us, it should motivate us to develop our own prayer. Because the other thing we have seen, we have been repeating for years and years and years, no change had come to us. No tangible change. Some change may be there. No deep change has come to us. In the sense, the me and mine has not been reduced. We may be reading the compositions, the prayers of all Mahatmas, realized souls. What happened to us? Academically, we can say we know all those things. We may be able to, we have learned it by heart. We may be able to reproduce it beautifully. All these things are yes, yes, yes. But what happened to me? Here we are chanting Vishnu Sahasranam in the morning. 1,008 times of the Lord's various glories. It was composed by somebody. Have we been able to go along with the theme? Not that there is any disrespect for it. We have to continue doing it. But we should also know why we are doing it. Ultimately, it has to come from within. Then only it becomes mine. Universal prayer has come out from Papa's mind. The peace prayer has come from Swami Omkarji Maharaj's mind. In the small prayer folder, we have prayers of Dayanandaji Maharaj, Thy Glory. We are reading it, O Sadgurudev. All very nice to read. Every time we are inspired. But what happened to us? O Lord, I have nothing to ask of you. I am blessed with all that one can hope for, ask for. I have a mind to think. It is thy glory. I have eyes to see, ears to hear. All these are thy glory. I have in front of me a world so vast and so variegated enough for me to express myself. Again, it is thy glory. I can make, I can unmake. All these possibilities are again thy glory. I can even make this prayer to you. This capacity to appreciate you is again thy glory. I seek from thee nothing, for you have given me everything. Inside me, outside me, your presence is something that I can't miss, I don't want to miss. Let thy grace be upon me, not to gain anything new, but to make me see thy glory. In all my achievements, in all my capacities, let me see thy glory. This is the Swami Dayanji Maharaj. At the time of reading, we are definitely touched, kindled, inspired. But immediately after that, we have to check up whether it has got any dent, deep dent in our thoughts, words and deeds. So that is why in the second chapter, we find Papa's own words, originated in his own language, And then he knew the prayer was heard. We still feel, though we keep on praying, not only this, whether it is Ramana Bhagavan, whether it is Adi Shankaracharya, anything, we read it as a discipline, that's all. It doesn't touch and kindle or change anything drastic in my life. Because still, learning from that prayer, I have not learned to make my own prayer. I'm only doing Control C, Control V, copy paste, to be very blunt. So how to do the composition, that you have to be guided by what they have done. And then when he prayed in his own language, that remove I want you to completely take me under your guidance and remove the I-ness from me. Thy slave's one prayer to thee is to take him under thy complete guidance and remove his I-ness. Did he quote anybody's prayer? The prayer was heard. Initially, we have to repeat Mahatma's prayers composed by Mahatmas in our Shastras. But later on, that should enable us to bring out the prayer in our own way, original. That means we are taking stock of what is inside, and based upon that we are praying. In repeating the prayer of somebody, no such exercise is undertaken. I know my limitations. I have not yet surrendered. I want to surrender. This will be our prayer. If we simply say universal prayer, I surrender myself entirely to thee, we have not surrendered. So now we understand that reading the prayers of Mahatmas should enable us to develop a prayer of our own in our own language based upon our own stock. And then he said the prayer was heard. And then to know that it is not an impulsive feeling, he wanted that to be authenticated by realized souls. So he referred to the texts. They are words of wisdom and got confirmed. Ram had thus spoken out through the words of these three great avatars, and all of them pointed to the same path, renunciation. And then comes the third chapter, sannyas. Here we elaborately dwelt upon the first vow. In order to keep up the same tempo, we are inspired. We take up something. We go, we move forward. After some time, we find the tempo is slowly getting reduced, diluted. We are back to square one. We have not been able to keep up the same speed, same tempo, same fervor, same degree of our priority. Just like any other thing, as age goes by, when we were 5 years old, when we were 6 years old, when we were 10 years old, when we were 15 years old, the priority, got diluted. We shifted the priority from one to another, one to another, one to another. At that particular moment, the tempo was there. We will assert, we will cry, we will somehow see that it is given to us. Then afterwards, what happened? Similarly, when we see a saint, when we hear something, when we hear a Mahatma's words, when we happen to hear somebody telling about a Mahatma's words of wisdom, we are really touched and kindled. But in the shortest possible time, we will find the enthusiasm gets punctured unknowingly. So here Papa gives us, in order to keep up the tempo, you have to impose self-imposed vows and discipline. And the discipline should be such that it should be a pointer toward the ultimate. And here, the first prayer, first vow, this life be henceforth entirely consecrated to meditation and service of Sri Ram. Consecrated, giving it what do you call, a solemn,
Complete.
No. There is
Dedicate. Consecrate is dedicate.
not dedication, but the real meaning is,
And Google Swami.
let us try to understand it.
ஒழிஞ்சு வைக்கிறது ஒழிஞ்சு வைக்கிறது ஒழிஞ்சு வைக்கிறது சொன்னா
ஒழிஞ்சு வைக்கிறதுன்னு சொல்லலாம். அதுக்கு 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 ஒரு சாங்டிட்டி, கிவ் எ சாங்டிட்டி. இப்போ ஃபார் எக்ஸாம்பிள், ஒன் விக்கிரகா prepared by a stapati,
Sacred.
when it is brought to the temple for installation, it is not just kept there, What we got from the stapati, the sculptor, he had carved it out from a stone, ordinary stone or a marble. But when it is brought to the temple, it goes through certain rituals. And that ritual sanctifies, for enabling us to superimpose the deity on this vigraha. So that is what is called consecration. Sanctifying it. And sanctifying it through certain wonderful rituals. The tantri who performs this, from his tapasya,
sanctum sanctorum.
From his tapasya, he brings it out and passes it on to a kalasha water, and that kalasha water is poured on this. One among the sanctifying rituals. The other one is, prior to the construction of the temple, certain people will have a bhajan hall. They may have a photo, they may have a plaster of Paris figure of the deity, and they may be doing it for years together, some sort of devotional practice. That devotional practice for a number of years has touched and evoked the Chaitanya in that particular. That is why you go and do namaskar, Now when we see the photo of Papa, we cannot sit before him, We are not seeing it as a photo. To all appearance, it is an image. But to a devotee, he is Guru himself in that form. So this is sanctifying. It is a paper. It is subject to wear and tear. It is subject to fungus. It is subject to so many things. We have to replace it. That is one part. But the moment we see, can we do this and throw? When it is affected by fungus, it will not. Because so far we have seen it not as a paper, but as a form of our Guru. So when we have to replace that, this will also be offered to the Agni Bhagavan with a feeling. He has changed it, that's all. He has changed the outer color. So sanctifying it, that is called consecration. So this life be henceforth entirely consecrated to meditation and the service of Ram. Inside, dwelling upon him, which is called meditation. Outside, serving him. What a powerful vow. Both inside and outside, I am filling with him, his only, his remembrance. This is also an original prayer. In the traditional form, they have so many, the previous day they have to do some homa, and the Guru removes the tuft. Excepting the tuft, everything will be shaved, and the tuft he removes it. Then afterwards he removes all the clothes, Then this will be done on the banks of a holy river, any river. Then he goes, have a dip, and then comes out. The Guru gives him the clothes, gives him a name, gives him the mantra. These are all the traditional ways. But here in Papa's case, he himself offered to Mother Kaveri. He intuitively heard that he has been named as Ramdas in the place of Vittal Rao. And then he took, as prompted from within, he took these 3 vows. All original. Please note this. So IQG reminds us that be origin, be original. Be the light unto yourself, and in your own original way, he says, bring out the magnificence in you. Now we know, all of us probably we might have understood, why we feel we are not progressing. Because we have been trying to follow, we have to follow, no doubt. We have been trying not to unearth the original in us. Everyone's path is unique, that is original. That I have not been able to touch and kindle. Whether the path that I am following is okay for my equipment, I never checked up. My baggage is different from your baggage. So how can a general prescription be an answer? Each one has to go to the doctor and then go through the pathological, laboratory, and then they get, what is inside. Based upon that, the doctor prescribes various treatment. Same case in spirituality also. Initially we have to go because we don't know how to move about. So he makes us to get inspired through a particular Mahatma or a teaching, and then we try to, understand, in our case, Papa's own words. Don't be like dumb-driven cattle. Once he says, don't be like dumb-driven cattle. In another place he says, sadhaka. Don't have it. He says, in all matters, be guided from what you get from within. As Papa's spiritual children, every one of us should apply our mind on this seriously, especially when we have been prompted to take up an in-depth study of In Quest of God. Otherwise, it may not strike to us at all. He has prompted us to take up an in-depth study of In Quest of God in this particular year, Sannyas centenary year. This prompting he came so that we will try to unearth the points that are going to actually benefit me. So far I have been trying to follow. But my own Guru says, don't follow me even. You rely upon the Guru within. Bluntly he says, otherwise you will become a robot. The person who gives the order to the robot, it does, It is not self-originated, So in one of the articles addressed to sadhakas, Papa mentions this. I will read out this article. It's something, something of which will remain with us, because now he has prepared the background. That is why we are hearing. Previously, we had not prepared the background. There should be discipline in the life of every individual in order to achieve either moral or spiritual development. In the case of children and young folk in teens, discipline from outside does help a great deal in their adjustment of life to the environment and generally with the world. But even in their case, a pedagogic enforcement of rules and regulations, pedagogic, academic, somebody has written something and then we are repeating it. A pedagogic enforcement of rules and regulations without rightly studying and understanding their nature, instead of becoming a help, suppresses, distorts the natural growth and evolution. In the case of adults, the outside help consists in awakening the individual to a moral or spiritual life, and by hints and suggestions, enable him or her to find out for himself or herself, see, very important, the method and conduct of life by adopting which he or she can attain moral and spiritual perfection. Is it clear? We cannot follow.
Yes, Swamiji, yes, yes.
Once again, in the case of adults, the outside help consists in awakening the individual to a moral or spiritual life, and by hints and suggestions. Satsang helps us with this. Hints and suggestions enable him or her to find out for himself or herself the method and conduct of life by adopting which he or she can attain moral and spiritual perfection. Cut and dry rules applicable for all individuals and dominating insistence of a so-called higher authority on the individual for casting him into the new mold, as it were, for producing a Superman, is not at all the way. The life of the individual must grow like a bud into a flower and the flower into a fruit. As we provide the necessary conditions and environments for the growth and fruition of the bud into a fruit, so also is with life. In the life of the adult spiritual aspirant, the best discipline for his advancement and ultimate realization is the self-imposed discipline. Here, imitation and abject implicit obedience to the law set by anyone, however highly evolved he may be, will, instead of bringing into being an illumined individual, only produce a human robot without initiative, all its inner powers and beauty unexpressed and unrevealed. The keen aspiration for attaining the highest truth must be there. Contact with the divinely illumined personality must also be there. But the unfoldment of the hidden divine life and truth in the sadhaka must take place according to the nature and qualities of his inner and outer life and being. We know that we cannot hasten the ripening of a raw fruit. And if we, by any process, cause it to ripen artificially and prematurely, the taste of the fruit will never be the same as the one which has ripened in the natural course. Saints are therefore called the awakeners, whose grace works on the sadhaka like the sunlight on the lotus bud, which blossoms into a fragrant and beautiful flower. Unless the ego sense disappears, the divine life in us can never reveal itself in all its glory. Be like a child, and power, charm, and sweetness of the divine will radiate through you like the luster of the gem. God should possess you, not in any one part of your being, but in every atom, gross and subtle. of your entire physical, mental, vital being. You will become now a very image of the supernatural essence, made up of infinite love, power, and joy. You behold all beings, creatures, and things in the world as your own reflections. Nay, yourself manifests as all those forms as though you are looking at yourself in a mirror. This consciousness of divine unity and oneness of all existence is the summum bonum of a real divinized life which has attained the zenith of spiritual perfection. So clear cut, There is no ambiguity, there is no confusion. Now we have to train our mind. You provided so many things to us, but we fail to unearth what you have already given to us. Now enable me to bring it out, please. That is why all these decades I have been following, but I still feel I am far away from the truth to be scaled. It is not that the individual brings it out. God has given to his creation, while giving a creation, his own part, The amsham, what is that? Mamevamsho jivaloge jiva bodhasana. I am also in all as amsha. So he is there in everyone, but we are not aware. We thought by following this we become aware. Following this we become aware. Following this we become aware. And in days, weeks, months, years, decades have gone. Still we feel we are not near him. At times he may give us the feeling that we are nearing him, but again we lose. So now today he reminds us, okay, you have followed all these, now try to develop your own, which also I have given to you. You being unique, your method also to be unique. So I have given you the method through which you will be able to know myself. For that you have to turn inward and open the storeroom and take it out. You have never opened it. That is why he says inward journey, inward journey, inward journey. So in his three vows, it came out in his own way. This life be henceforth entirely consecrated to meditation and the service of Sri Ram. All my efforts to go inward is to be sanctified by his presence, not as a ritual, not as following. It has to be sanctified. And all my activities outside. Having come to know this, now we pray. Please, I have been seeing others as others. I have never seen you as others. I have never felt that you are there within me, who is the propelling force behind my everything. I have heard, I believe the words of the masters, but I have never felt it. Now kindly enable me to feel that presence. You have assured me that when I turn towards you, you will open up the chambers and give me the requisites necessary for me to become aware of your presence. Now the time has come, please. I can no more wait. Let this time, not this prayer. Is this prayer? This prayer has come from this body. Each one has to develop this prayer. As prayer originating. So that is the powerful message from the third chapter. And then we move to the fourth.
Only a small doubt, Swamiji, one doubt. Suppose we are not aware of the greatness in us, when the confusing atmosphere comes, won't the greatness come out automatically?
See for yourself, the answer is there, You just see oneself, We have been provided a wonderful opportunity, by Papa drawing us towards him. He made us to go through so many. The most important one is chanting of this holy and powerful name. And then where are we now? We are just watching, We hear his lectures, we go through his books, we do Ram Nam, we observe all the important days in a year, everything we do. But then have we felt? Have we felt that he is within us, who is motivating us to do everything? If the answer is yes, very good. If the answer is no, we have to pursue to make it yes. This is the right time. Only now probably we may be able to understand this. Previously, even to understand this, probably it was not possible. So he facilitated us to give us this in-depth study, What is in-depth study? Not the superficial study. Everything we go in depth. What is there behind the surface? On the surface level, we have mastered and in quest of God. Anywhere we can give a beautiful lecture about the various anecdotes about his philosophy, everything, we are clear about it. But now, whether the essence has been passed on to us. So now, let us all do some thinking about it, very deep thinking, serious, because it is high time now, we cannot lose anymore. And then, when we go to Srirangam, what is that particular one which stands in our mind? Can you say? In-depth study, eh? It can vary from person to person. How one looks at it, how one approaches it. Anybody sitting here also can do it. Huh?
Only 6 miles. 2 pies. He gets 2 pies. Only 6 miles.
No. This is Srirangam.
He gets 2 pies.
Sir Vittal Rao transforming himself as Ramdas at Srirangam. Pooja Swamiji had himself named as Ramdas, shedding all his mortal coil, in the sense, all his clothes, and had, white robe later, and ochre robe sometime. And from the struggle, he has come out, and this happens there, at Srirangam, having a dip in the Kaveri.
What is the message for us? In-depth study is not, it is not that what has happened we are going through. In-depth study is what is it that I can take it for myself. Just like this, original prayer, something like that, na? What does this chapter give us?
The very first thing, very first incident, Swami, when the sadhus were chanting,
that is the part.
Nothing available.
That is the part of the text. That is the part of the text. We are talking about what is the message.
Their prayer is answered to Papa. Their prayer is answered to Papa.
Not from the text. Swamiji is asking what is the message for us from that.
Completely under the guidance and protection.
Prayer will be answered. If you pray like that, definitely our prayer will be answered by God. That is the message that you are getting.
Swamiji, God is provided everything at the time of needy persons.
Swamiji, Papa, we can feel the sweet love of Ram. We can feel ourselves.
Everything is right, but we are searching for a message,
Complete guidance and protection.
Complete
guidance
Shelf
and
of
protection.
egoism. Shelf of egoism Go inward, go deep within, and try to feel the Lord within ourselves, oneself. If the egoism is coming, going out, or
Okay, all those things are right,
then
but
automatically.
all those things are right. What we are trying to get in one line, what is the message? You close the text. What is the message?
Swamiji, security is inside.
Security.
It is inside. It's an inside feeling, not outside. Papa was feeling secure inside.
Leaving everything to him.
To go within and feel the sun.
Know where he should go. Which time he
Swamiji, the true sannyasi realized it.
All the whatever that has been shared, it is right. Something more.
Yes.
Something more is there. What is that? നമ്മൾ കവലപ്പെട്ട് തന്നെ ഇരിക്കോ ഇല്ല ആ
Peace came upon the struggling soul and the turmoil sea.
During our journey, spiritual journey, God will test us. Unless we take it every time, whatever that is happening, not as a casual incident. We should in our life try to learn that every experience He makes us to pass through is a test to get the truth affirmed in our mind. So Papa was learning, or he has learned that everything is a form of God. But then he was taken to the place where the two devotees were singing. And when they were finding it difficult to reconcile with the bhiksha they got, the word that came out from them brought out the panicky situation, no?
Prayer also, prayer also, I think.
Yeah, 1 minute. So, and then at that time, Papa was not a spectator. Immediately he reacted, responded. That means he was able to take, the word he used, no young brothers, no value can be set upon your bhajan. God is always kind and loving. He never forsakes those who depend upon him, or forget about all those things. Ram has sent through his humble slave money for your food today. That is there. So that means Papa was able to see it not as an incident, not as a casual incident. Two people, they found grumblings and complaints, genuine complaint, it is not self-centered, though it may be a little self-centered. Ultimately, they are all 100% committed devotees. But still, when the hunger was pinching, the body, it has its own weight, that's all. Because suddenly, when Papa's words, after hearing this word, what a change, a transformation. And what do they say? Thy worthy, O God, thy ways are wonderful. Pardon, pardon thy unworthy slaves. We doubted thee and thy love. In future, grant that we may never blame thee, but bear all sufferings patiently in thy name. No? It was a test. It was a test for both. Both of them have not treated it as an incident. This is the powerful message for all of us. So many things will happen in our life. Each incident we have labeled as favorable, unfavorable, good, bad, productive, unproductive, waste, all these things, we do that. But here he says, no. Everything is, you are made to pass through every type of suffering to test, to get yourself tested, whether what you have so far assimilated, whether you have been able to absorb it. Is it becoming clear?
Yes, sir.
Ah.
Yes, Swamiji.
Ah.
Swami, yes, Swami.
Everything is a test. Everything is a test. In quest of God is full of tests. So no, nothing is treated. I fail, I forget. Even after hearing this, I may fail, I may forget. But it comes back to me again and again. Could this be a test? Yes, it is a test. Sorry, I did not pass the test. Try. Try again.
Second to second, we feel like we
Ah.
are, having Muktananda people.
So we keep on hammering this into our brain. Test, test,
Sure.
test, test.
Sure, sure.
Test not to mete out suffering for us. Test to make us more and more pure. More and more pure. If Papa was not drawn there, this experience he would have had. If you go to that mandapam, what mandapam? That is called, Amma mandapam. Amma mandapam, as soon as you come out of it, you can sit there. Or you can proceed, to the city. But God made him to sit near these two people. Because this test has to be meted out to him. So nothing is casual. So now we are praying to God. You are giving us so many opportunities in a day, in a week, in a month, in a year. But I fail to understand. My old preconceived notions start giving a label, and I just file it. I suffer or I enjoy based upon what I have put on the label on it. It is wonderful, we say. It is awkward, we say. It is horrible, we say. It is too much for us to bear, we say. But we never feel that He is making us to pass through. So this fourth chapter gives us this powerful message that whatever may be the happening that is outside, try to take everything as a test meted out to you to make you perfect, so that your move towards Him becomes faster and faster and faster. The other details we have already gone through. We are trying to find out a new one now, a new light.
She's telling once we take a vow, we have to hold
We have to hold on. That is also there. Whenever there are so many, yes. Because he did not touch. He still had about 9 rupees. But when he took a vow that henceforth the body be maintained and fed upon the food procured by bhiksha or on what was offered as alms. So he got 2 pies. 12 pies make 1 anna, 16 annas make 1 rupee. That means 192 paise make 1 rupee. Of that, 2 pies he got. And the expression, his heart leaped with joy. His heart leaped with joy at the sight of these tiny coins, the first proceeds of his bhiksha. No, nothing is an incident, an ordinary incident. It's a test whether they have got contentment. What can I do with 2 pies? At best I can buy a banana. Will that satisfy me? This grumbling can come, But he brought God into the picture. Buying 2 plantains, he ate them with all pleasure. So these are the powerful messages from the chapter number 4. Tomorrow we will take up Rameshwaram. So now we are not going through the same thing which we have already gone through. we are looking at it with a new dimension, new perspective. And whether, oh, that is also there. We would not have covered it. Now he is again giving us an opportunity to bring as many, to unearth the hidden points that are there, which is directly connected to my life, daily life. This is also very important. This is directly connected to my daily life. Such messages we are trying to pick up. Is that clear?
Yes, Swamiji.
One more point strikes me, Swami. When the sadhu asked him as to where Ramdas was going and giving no reply, the sadhu took him to Rameshwaram. So that itself is also relying Papa Ram, isn't it? That point can be. Yeah.
That means every moment. Yeah.
Swamiji, as long as we see that there's Papa, eat a banana, not eat a banana, save the money, that's not going to help me. I need to make my own vow. I need to sustain my vow. I need to have things chalked out for me.
I have to dig out.
Then only I will
Yeah, okay.
Otherwise, I will not even know the test is coming.
Correct. Yeah.
Facing me, I will not
Absolutely,
even know.
absolutely. Yes. The central theme is this: originate. Never. Every Bhaktottama has scaled the heights through their own way. That point, the important point, we all unknowingly forgotten. Not that we want to forget. We have heard. We used to share, one saptaha, what do you call it? Nambudiri, who does every year religiously Srimad Bhagavad Saptaha in Delhi. Somebody told us, we did not hear this. So he was elaborately explaining about Uddhava Gita. And the last portion, when Uddhava turned and saw tears in Lord's eyes, a touching scene. This Nambudiri said, for number of decades I have been telling this, but the tear has not come to me. And he cried before the entire audience. I have been telling you that this is what the God says and this is his experience. But I have been repeating this. But I still have not developed that. Oh Lord, Narayana, why don't you please bless me with that experience? That means he was only conveying the deep experiential level. Academic level, he would have done it perfectly. That is why people go to him again and again, beautifully presenting everything. But to him, as an individual, as a sadhaka, as a bhakta, and he was such an innocent and guileless that he was able to declare it open. That itself means God has bestowed on him. That innocence. Last year, when somebody performed a Bhagavad Saptaha nearby, he used to stay here, that Nambudiri. Not the other one, another Nambudiri. He always comes and discusses this aspect. I should never become a Bhagavad Saptaha pracharak, but I should become 100% bhakta, to become one with him. The wonderful opportunity he has given to me now, I should be able to enjoy his company, enjoy his presence. He and his son, they used to come there. And every day, evening after the program, he will come and say that. My only aim is to become one with thee, what he makes me to say, not to just share what I have read. So originate. So let this message be concretized in our mind. We pray to him. That also he has to give. So we pray to him, somehow make it perfectly established in mind, and enable me to bring out what you have stored in me to reach you. Hari Om. Om Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram Om Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram Om
Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram Om Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram
Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram Om 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 Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram